I just love the Adirondack chair and the relaxing waterside stamp set and die set. So you can stamp an Adirondack chair or you can build your own. So for the to-go kits, we'll be building our own. And this is a great fold to show off something that is not big enough to do the whole, be the focal point for the whole card, but in a smaller panel, it works great. So you've got all your pieces here. Now you have enough in your kit to make 2 cards. So anytime you get a ribbon or a twine, you want to cut it into 2 pieces, 1 for each card. I've got all the pieces. This will be an inside panel, but let's go ahead and get our pieces attached. This, I hated not to use this side. I think the colors in that are so pretty. But like many designer series papers, sometimes you love the both sides and you have to make a choice. I thought this was nice and watery, so I used this for a kind of a subtle edge piece. And the only thing here you need to be sure about is that when you glue this down, it's going the same direction. Not that it's that noticeable, but it is something that a lot of people like to pay attention to. So I went ahead for this card, I folded, scored it, and I did the cutting for you. If it's just a basic card, I leave the scoring to you. Now for this card, we'll glue these down. So we'll do that and then we'll add our white inside piece and then we'll make our chair. The Adirondack chair actually comes in a few pieces. So we've got a little work to do before we're ready to put that together. But it just makes it such a realistic Adirondack chair. I love it. I have 4 in my backyard. And they are white. But I think a misty moonlight Adirondack chair would be great. Okay, so now we're ready to decorate the front and get the chair put together and get a "Today is your day" and a "Relax" stamped on there. So I do like to recycle, and so sometimes you'll get your pieces in a stamp and seal bag. So I didn't want to lose. There are a lot of pieces with this, so I've got 2 still in. Got a few still in here. Here we go. So there's a little, I don't know, there we go. So there's 1 still in, I can see. But we'll need, oh, nope, I've got them all. So we'll need 1 of those, or 1 of those. When you die cut, if you own this set, this piece comes out of here, and we'll need that. So those are our pieces for the second card. And then these are the arms, and so you'll have to see which direction they are going to be sure you get the right ones. So we'll save those for the other card. I'm going to use my liquid glue for this. Now, do not tuck into this section. You need to go all the way down to the bottom, and then the slats will be going across the back. So I've found that I don't want to put my glue across here and across here because it's then going to come out in between the slats. So I like to put glue on this piece and then a little bit more after I've got this piece together. So stick that down in and get it all lined up. And now I know where my slats are going to land, so I can pull this back and just do a little bit of glue. That was a little bit more than I wanted. Across, so that I can get this to stick down and not have the glue squirting out in places I don't want it. Okay, now this piece goes across the front. It really kind of makes it very 3D-ish, which I like. And I've seen people make this kind of mixing it, just, you know, see how the seat, it makes the seat, looks like the seat's curving around like a real Adirondack chair. And then these are the arms. And at first I wasn't sure what I had. I just thought, well, those aren't long enough. That can't be. But by George, that is exactly what they are. I'm going to pick up some glue there. I don't need so much. So then this tucks around behind. So then if you think about, I'm gonna slide this over a little bit. There we go. if you look at it differently, this part is not the arm anymore. This is the, I mean, it's part of the arm, but it's the front of the arm. This is the top of the arm. So I think that was where my confusion came in. I was imagining these pieces as something that they aren't. Okay, and that's already got a little adhesive, so it's covering up this spot right there. Got my adhesive on it already, and just tuck it in under there. There we go. All right, let's see, let me get myself cleaned up here, and I'll stamp some greetings, and then the chair will be dry enough we can glue it down. So I like the relax, today is your day. That can be Father's Day, that can be a birthday, it can be any day about, it can be, you know, it's your day. Today is about you, whoever you're sending it to. There we go, get a little bit of firmer crease in that. Okay, so today is your day. I'm going to stamp that in Misty Moonlight, and I'm going to stamp Relax in Misty Moonlight. They're coming from the Relaxing Waterside set, so you can see it has a Happy Father's Day. Here's to a new chapter. Have a great birthday. That would be a good retirement card as well. I went to a retirement party yesterday, and I've got somebody else in my life retiring, so I do need a couple retirement cards. Now stamp your words over to the left some to give yourself room to tie the baker's twine around the end. And while I've got my ink out and open, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my Relax in the center at the bottom. And then we're ready to tie the baker's twine around. Now, I'm going to put the chair down, and then I'm going to have this hanging off the end. So you do have to watch yourself. You don't want any kind of adhesive back there. If it were going to stick flat on the card, I'd just put a little spot of glue or adhesive. But I'm just going to wrap this around. Now, in the kits, I try to give you enough extra that you can work with it. So you may have more to wrap around than you want to wrap around. I've gone around more times than I did on my sample, but this will work since we're just tying a knot. So I'll just go ahead and go for it. We're tying a knot, we're not tying a bow. That's what I meant to say. Except I'm lopsided, so let me try this again. Let's get a little bit more even. And I know I'm covering up the Y in day, but I can come back and fix that. All right, you know what? I'll just stick with 3 times around and tie. It'll be much easier to work with that way. And tie a knot. And then you can kind of shuffle it around and get it positioned where you want it so it looks the way you want it to look before you trim. Just a short little tail. And then when we tie it down, or when we attach it, it'll just give a little movement and a little interest there. So because this chair has narrow parts, I think I'll go with my liquid glue and just tiny little, now I have a new bottle, so it is flowing generously, so you do have to be careful with this. And I find that it's warm today in my house, and so I think it flows a little faster when it's warm. And it makes sense that that would happen, or maybe it's just me. All right, so we've got our Relax. Get that centered. And I do want to give it a minute to attach. I think I'll just use my seal, and remember, only on part of it so that you don't glue your card shut. And today is your day. And then for the inside, you can stamp a happy birthday, happy Father's Day, or whatever sentiment you'd like.